Alright, so a quick and easy Blender tutorial on how to add 3D models to StarMade, except it's not quick and it's not easy. So first thing you'll need is Blender. Go download that. Next thing you'll need is Blender to Ogre, so go and download that. Once you got Blender to Ogre, you'll want to open the zip up, open up Master, IO Ogre, and put this in C program files wherever you installed Blender. Blender 2.91, whatever your version is. Scripts add-ons. So I got that opened up right here. And I already extracted this a while ago, so here it is, IO Ogre. Just drag and drop. That's the only file you need. Let's see what's after. Oh yeah, SM Mesh Importer. So you'll just click to download the zip, save it on your, or extract it to your desktop. Here we are. So you'll get source, which you don't need, working, which you need, and Ogre command line tools. So just put your Ogre command line tools. You can put them anywhere, I guess. I'll just put them right here. And let's open up Blender. I think it's in like Blender. It's kind of a pain to navigate this. Let's see. Oh yeah, edit preferences, add-ons, and you should see import export Ogre scene mesh exporter. So just enable this, and you'll also need to specify your Ogre command line tools, Ogre XML converter, which is the thing that you extracted, your Mesh Magic Tundra. You don't need to install that. I don't have it installed. Org Meshy, don't have it installed. Maybe I have Image Magic. I don't think you need it. Yeah, probably don't need it. Yeah, no Tundra either, so don't worry about that. You'll probably need to restart Blender after this. Alright, now let's get into actually making our model. So, I don't really know how to use Blender, but to let's make like a half block that's also a slant, or whatever they're called. Like a slope, whatever. Okay, so first thing you want to do is go into the modeling tab and scale your cube. So right now this will be like 2 times the size of a block, so type lowercase s 0.5, enter. And this right here is exactly the size of a block. So let's see, I'll just cut it, delete all the faces, or delete the top faces. Vertices rather. And probably build up the walls here. There we go. So now we've got our awesome slope. We'll go to, I may as well save it first. So File, Save As. We'll name it Epic Slope. Alright. Now to actually edit the texture of this, you'll want to go to, or actually just go to Model, hit A to select all vertices. Go to Texture Paint, I think it is. Or on UV editing you can kind of see where all of the faces are. In Texture Paint, you want to, over here, set this to single image. You might have to click New, let's name it Epic Slope. Cool, now we've got our image. You can like save this to disk and edit it with paint.net, or you can just draw on it right here. There we go. Looks great, if I do say so myself. Add some green in there. Much better. Okay, so now to save, or how to actually export your model, you'll want to go to Layout, just click to deselect all, select only your cube. Then go to File, Export, Ogre 3D Scene and Mesh. And now you got your working directory, input. I think this is not the right one. Oh no, it's good. You might have to create this directory called input. Not sure. Just paste that in there. We'll name it Epic Slope, no file extension. I think you can just leave all this stuff default. Probably doesn't even work. Hit Export Ogre. There we go, we got our, wherever it might be. Okay, so what we got from here is, so just run mesh importer, and it should spit out a zip sometime. Okay, thank you, Avast. Guess we'll have to rerun it. Perfect. Got our epic slope. Actually, one thing that's missing from this that I forgot to do is our texture. So go to texture paint, image, save as, and put this once again in the input folder. Has to be named exactly the same as your mesh, so epicslope.png. I think you can use JPEGs as well. Best to go with PNG. Just delete everything except for the PNG. Okay, looks like I named it incorrectly. Awesome. Let's try that again. File, export, Ogre Scene and Mesh. We're going to name it Epic Slope. Export. Okay. There we go, at last. Gonna run Mesh Importer. Right, now I got the actual mod for this setup, a LoD block example, just very default mod.json. And things that we're going to need to implement for this are onBlock config load. So first thing that I do, create a new element with just some random face, diddle a chair, set basic info, and then this line right here is really what makes it work. So we've got config.assignLoD, our element information, the mod class, the LoD name, which is just cube, and the activation LoD, which we do not have one, so just don't worry about that. And then make sure to always add it to the config. Should probably increase the font size in here. There we go. So next thing that we need to do is actually load our mesh. So use StarLoader texture.runOnGraphics thread, new runnable, implement the run method, and basically what we do is we just grab the game's resource loader and put our mesh into it using resloader.getMeshLoader.loadModMesh, our main class, the name of the mesh, and the resource from our jar. So let me just delete the old one. So I'm going to put it in me.jkv.LoDBlockExample. So just drag and drop epic slope, and you got to do get jar resource to get something from a jar. So me.jkv LoDBlockExample epic slope or something. I already forgot. Let's see. Epic slope.zip, yeah. And the physics mesh, which kind of controls like how players interact with it. It's kind of like a pain to make your own for every single model that you make, so I'm just going to leave it as null. I think that makes it function as like a cube. And yeah, let's see if this works. Okay. Black screen. Oh, there we go. Alright. So, it's kind of hard to see. I may as well get outside of the ship. Should see it in creative inventory. Yep. A lit share. Okay, so that is definitely not our mod mesh. And I think the reason for that has something to do with me, like, having a previous mod with the same name, Epic Slope. So I think to fix that, you can just go into StarMade data, wherever it is, models, mod models. Yeah, here it is, LoD Block example, cube. And it, for some reason, named it cube, but when it should have named it Epic Slope. Hang on a second. In the future, I'll make it like check the hashes of the zip and make sure that it's actually extracted correctly, so hopefully you don't need to delete it. But yeah, let's change our LoD name to Epic Slope, because I had previously made something called cube, and that was conflicting with it. So, there. So the name of our to be more specific, it's the namespace of our mesh is LoD Block example Epic Slope. So we gotta specify that and assign LoD. If it's a different mod, then it won't work, but you probably won't ever run into that because you're always using onBlock config load in your main class. Alright, so let's see if it works now. Gotta wait for the load cycle. Okay. Awesome. Let's take a look. So, this is just some error inside of element information. When it tries to draw our LoD, or 3D model to be specific, it's not actually LoD. This is kind of what StarMade calls it internally. Well, it does have a LoD system. Your mesh will like turn into a cube as you get farther away. So let's try to see what's wrong. Epic Slope. Yeah, Epic Slope. Me, Jake V. Alright, I'm back. It turned out I just had to go build artifacts, LoD Block example, clean, and then build, because like wasn't extracting it or wasn't putting it in the jar for some reason. So anyway, back in game we can see our slope worked. Very cool. Awesome texture. Let's see how the collision works, or to be more specific, how it doesn't. Okay. Any predictions on what's going to happen? Yeah, it's... okay. It's like a regular block, except you like glitch into it. So that's great. One day I'll figure out... well, that's even worse. What's it doing? Whatever. One day I'll figure out how to make it actually work, but for now, just, you know, it kind of works. Whatever. Good enough. Goodbye.